CLIC Connect. I'm your host, Craig Sullivan. Today, we've got such an exciting guest, an industry leader. But before we start and we introduce him, I want to thank our production partner, Chicago Titles National Commercial Services Group, based right here in California. But they can help you across the country. If you need help getting your real estate transactions closed on time, Chicago Titles National Commercial Services Group is the one to talk to. Please let them know that producer Danny and I sent you. And with that, I want to welcome Mr. Jim Alderman, CEO, Radisson Hotel Groups of the Americas. Jim, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Craig. It is fantastic to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I really appreciate this. This means the world to me, my friend. Last time we saw each other, we were at the Lodging Conference, which was quite the event. I think it's one that not only that we wanted, but I think we needed it. There was both good information, but it wasn't all the rainbows and sunshine that we get at some of the other conferences. So, and speaking of conferences, you've been on the road. You and your team have had a 14-city road trip talking to your franchisees and everybody else involved. Do me a favor and tell the audience what that experience was like.
Well, Craig, it was really incredible to connect with people in person again, because we canceled our annual business conference in 2020, like everyone did, unless you had it very early. We canceled 2021. 2020, we had already had the annual business conference. In 2021, like everyone did, who was going to have them earlier in the year, canceled them. And we had canceled the in-person regionals in 20. And so it was a long time to go without seeing a lot of franchisees in person. So a lot of the regional folks who have the more direct contact were already back on the road, because most of them were drivable to their constituents and to their hotel owners. But for the senior executives, getting back out there in front of them and really experiencing, it's their pain. I mean, wow. And we're feeling it as well, because no one has it well. They're on their knees still, honestly. The industry is on its knees with staffing at this point in time, to see what everyone's going through. And I said this at the NYU conference, Craig, and the expectation of guests has come back far, far quicker than our ability to replenish the shelves with goods, and to certainly replenish our ranks for services. And those two things are, incumbent upon us to provide, but we're all struggling. Right in your backyard, you've got a port with 110 ships sitting out there with probably a lot of stuff that is aimed towards FF&E for our hotels and OS&E for our hotels that we need. And you've seen the condition of towels at even some of the best hotels that are out there. It's kind of crazy what we're getting down to as a matter of par and matter of people. Just it is a real effect when some of these businesses that did not necessarily always compete for hospitality workers are offering 50% more per hour. I think Sebastian Barzan said, "What is the answer? Part of the answer is to pay more. Is that the only answer? No. Can we afford the first answer? No." So it's dire. We just can't pass it. Sorry for the road noise out there. I live at the corner of Main and Main during the week sometime.
No, and I agree with you. Unfortunately, though, we've done a horrible job at promoting hospitality as the honorable profession that it is.
Right.
I just was part of the International Hospitality Institute's event. 105 countries, over 3,000 attendees, virtual, and there's a lot of great information. But labor is that key issue with everybody right now. But getting out there and seeing the old friends, seeing your franchisees that support you and this amazing development team that you have. What were your initial impressions of that? Was it bigger than big smiles and hugs and just those conversations that we've all been longing for and more? What was that like?
It was a good balance of that, and then a lot of cold reality on areas where we still need to get better. And that's part of our mantra. We're kind of going for internally and really externally facing is for us to consistently be better with Radisson, be better franchisors, and make better businesses for our franchisees and better ROI. And so it was great to see them, but a lot of it, we heard a lot of the issues with, our legacy IT systems. We're on a very old architecture for IT, and it was going to be replaced. But when, as you know, Radisson Hotel Group Americas launched this year, because Radisson Hotel Group internationally was split apart, and there's Radisson Hotel Group, which is Europe and the rest of the world, and then there's the Americas, Canada, North and South America, and Central America, and the Caribbean. And when those were separated, we needed to rebuild the IT systems separately.
Right.
And so that's what we've been doing. And so we've got a lot of promises that need to be fulfilled, and a lot of turnover in leadership. I'm the 5th or 6th CEO in about 6 years that they had through here. And I'm about to turn my 2-year anniversary, and I don't plan on going anywhere. And that's why we went out and put a great team together. But it was a mixed bag of, thank God we can see each other again. And hey, I got some things to talk to you about. So it was good. I like that kind of balance, because I'm open. I'll engage it all. I got, tons of questions where they said, we would like to do this. We'd like to charge for breakfast. I just you got to stop right there, just so nothing gets misinterpreted and said,
right,
that's never going to happen. When it comes to country and the suites. I mean, the free breakfast is part of it. Can we be better at breakfast? 100%. Should we be mandating 30 items for breakfast for free if someone's paying $75 for a hotel room? I don't think so. It doesn't sound right. Does it even logically sound like we should say, here are the 30 things you have to put out? Look, I don't have 30 things for breakfast, I don't have 30 things in my pantry when it comes to that. But, it's just, there's a lot of things we can do differently to make things better for the franchisees. Where it makes sense. We should only be doing what the guests will value, and also what they'll pay for.
Right. And I agree with that. And, what I've been following, especially with you and your development team, is your messaging and getting out there and, going, hey, you know what? We do have some legacy things that we're dealing with, the IT being one of them, but you're making those changes. You're making those inroads. Your response time is critical to the franchisee and the guest. And you guys adopted that strategy and says, yes, we are going to take this on and we will get it resolved for you. And I'm very proud of everything that you guys have been doing. And congratulations on your successes. You still have quite a road ahead of you. But I got to tell you, that Radisson Blue in Anaheim is absolutely beautiful. I love that.
It's a spectacular hotel. It got its 4 diamond from AAA, which is great, and it's a really great asset, great owner. The venue on top, fireworks every night. How could you not want to have a wedding, rent out the whole top floor, and have fireworks relied upon every night, provided by Disney World, free of charge, except for what we're going to charge for the room. But you're right about Phil. Look, Phil is Phil Hugh and the team that he has put together. Look, as you know, my background, I was a chief development officer at a couple of places. I was never as good as Phil Hugh. He is world class, and we just came off an event where he was not only the host of the event, but he was also it was also at his home partially this last weekend. We got very lucky. We held our first annual Radisson Invitational golf tournament for a bunch of prospective owners, many people who are not doing business with us right now, and some real big hitters that I've done business with at past companies that will be doing business with us soon. I expect we'll sign 20 deals out of this. But we've sponsored a couple of golfers, an LPGA professional named Aditya Shuk, and specifically, she's playing right now. We also sponsor Arjun Atwal, and Arjun is going to be on the senior tour next year, year after next. And so we're sponsoring 2, but with 2 golfers that we wanted, a male and a female. And Aditi flew in because of this relationship that Phil has built up with her and her family. She got into this Pelican LPGA championship at the last minute, flew in, was able to meet with all of our franchisees. She's a country hero in India. She finished 4th in the Olympics. She flies in from Saudi Arabia, gets to take a look at 9 holes on the golf course, goes out and comes in tied for 6th, low round of the day on Sunday. And 10 of the top 13 female golfers in the world were in this tournament. She's finished 6th. So by my developer math, that makes her the 6th best golfer in the world. But that's just, Craig, you know, we're developers at heart. That's how we do math, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. You know, she is the 6th best, and climbing. So, yeah. Now, your development team is, and I love your guys' philosophy. You know, you're not cannibalizing territories for your owners. So, you know, if you've got a Radisson in an area, that's the only one that's going to be there. If there's a need for a blue, you work that out. Or if you put a blue into an area like you did in Anaheim, that's their territory. And, you know, that's different from everybody else. You know, you could have, you know, brand X put 3 or 4 of the same product within a 5-mile radius. And, you know, it's just like, you know, what you guys are doing and your dynamics are just absolutely top of the game right now and innovative. And you've always been one that's been innovative. So let's talk about your development team a little bit more.
Okay.
You know, you're spreading them across. You're having, you know, North America, certainly the United States, Canada, and I think Kanzuk's going to be a great thing for you guys if that actually comes to be.
Yeah.
And, you know, all the success you're having in South America right now as well. It seems like, you know, I'm reading about a new opening, like it seems like every week.
Yeah.
And, you know, congratulations to you guys.
It's well, thankfully, it's good PR. And thank you. You're so kind to recognize. But, you know, by putting someone back in Canada, we haven't had anyone in Canada since Radisson had Dave Oliver up there. We had people covering it, but not doing it. But now with Chris Crunwell up there, who worked for Phil, and some other deals that we're working on with some people that we bring the relationship we bring from our past. So we're working with some other people up there, which is just critical to continue to build upon those. Or why do I still have a Rolodex that's 35 years old? You know, I want to still keep calling the same people, because that's why we, as Phil said, and many times, if you ask us what's best for you to do with your property, it might not be best to come with us. If you're going to sit there and tell me that, you know, I'm going to put $40,000 a key in this. And, you know, Phil told an owner the other day, the best thing for you to do is to tear this down. And the owner said, "You've got to be kidding." Phil was like, "No." And said, "Well, why won't anyone else tell you?" He said, "Well, they want to sell you a franchise. I'd rather build a relationship with you. Now I want you to tear it down and do something with me. But, you know, the best thing you could do is you not throw more money into an asset that won't be able to support a return." But it is about, we do need more people out there. You know, Mike Levin used to say, and I was fortunate enough to work with Mike back in the day, but never directly for him. But I got to kind of be I was the secretary of the capital committee at Holiday Inn Worldwide, and when Mike was the number 2 there. And I just remember one simple thing he used to say was, more people, more deals. He said more guys, more deals, but he wasn't trying to be just guys. It was just guys in the plurality. But, you know, more people, more deals, more franchise sales, more deals. Our leading salesperson right now is actually our Lisa Farrell out of the Ohio area. So,
nice.
As far as more guys, it's not true. Lisa is our leading sales right now. But we need more people out there. And we've renamed. We don't even call it Latin America now. We're calling it CALA, because it's really Caribbean and Latin America. There's so much of our portfolio down there is in the English speaking part of the Caribbean. So we've got Paul Ladon down there in Miami with Francis Gonzalez, and he's building a team, and he's got Craig, he's got some deals that are on the cusp right now there that really could be game changers for us down there. And we've got a better reputation. Actually, we've got a stronger reputation in CALA than we do in the US. And that's because the assets down there are generally about, you know, star or star and a half higher than what we have here quality wise. And they have a very close tie with Europe. And so there's a lot of people in these cities in South America specifically that would see the association with the tremendous Radisson Blue estate
Right.
that Federico Gonzalez is over throughout Europe. And you're talking about the growth that they've had during the pandemic has been, I think, almost second to none on a relative basis. They have the largest pipeline in Africa. They are killing it in the Middle East, and they're doing extremely well, growing red, blue, and their collection, and our new brand, Radisson Individuals.
You know, that is all true, and I've been following that as well. And congratulations to your teams over there for those successes. Your individual brand, I love, because I think it. You and I are in agreement that when a hotel is hitting on all 8 cylinders, it celebrates the community and the area that it's in. And I think the individual, gives a hotelier that freedom to do that, but also has the power of a reservation system that really drives more business to the hotel.
It is.
So if you could talk about
I think so. And the reason why we did Radisson Individuals and we're not big enough. We're not one of the global major hotel companies as Radisson Hotel Group Americas. We've got great scale for what we are, but
right.
We don't have the gravitas to have it be by Radisson. It needs to be, in this space, it needs to be Radisson first, but the hotel keeps its own individuality. We're looking at an exterior corridor, on the coast right now in Sarasota that I just saw the plans for, and the developer was, being very gracious and saying, I'm not sure whether or not this fits. I said, what do you mean? What you're doing is beautiful. The weather's great. It's the coast of Florida. Let's do it. And we have one on the east coast of Florida right now that's already open in St. Augustine called the Sebastian, which is a fantastic property. And, food and beverage, if you want it, food doesn't have to, if you have a restaurant, great. If you don't, that's fine too. If your hotel wasn't meant to have a restaurant and you want to be a Radisson Individuals, you can be a Radisson Individuals. But the idea was we do have a high-end Radisson collection brand that Fede has quite a few of. He's going to grow to probably 85 locations in the next 4 or 5 years and has close to 30 right now. But we don't really occupy that level of gravitas with the institutional investor. And largely that space, Craig, as you know, the upper end of the spectrum above Radisson Blue, you're talking about $50 million+ assets, $75 million+ assets, $100 million assets. And Fede has tons of palaces like that. And we would rather focus our energy on building Radisson Blue in that space versus something that was a by Radisson. So that's why Individuals really, really helps us out with being closer to what our strike zone already is.
I love it. I love it. Your philosophy, my friend, is something that is welcome. It's a breath of fresh air, and I love hearing it. But before we let you out of here, we're going to do our lightning round.
All right, let's do it.
Producer Danny's going to put 2 minutes on the clock, and it's just free-form association. And here we go. Labor.
Expensive.
Team.
Absolutely necessary.
Hotel development.
Never stops.
Amenities.
Creep.
Road warrior.
The heart of my business.
There you go. Ground up or repositioning?
Repositioning.
Bleisure. Should it be a new category? Combining that leisure trip with a business trip. Bleisure.
Yes.
I like that. Favorite airport?
Tampa.
Tequila.
Avion 44, I think, or Don Julio, the 42, but I think Avion 44. I don't know. Fortaleza lately. Have you seen some of the new, the holiday, the winter blend that's coming in on Fortaleza? We got to do another Friday night audit because I just was lucky enough to scare up a winter blend, and really spectacular work that they're doing down there. And I read something lately that at least within a certain segment that tequila is outpacing the bourbon sales right now.
Sales. Doesn't surprise me. Okay, last one, my friend. Favorite hotel or resort? Radisson Blue Anaheim.
It actually, that is, I always say it's got to be something I've stayed in, it's something I had a memorable experience in lately, and it would be the Radisson Blue Anaheim.
What a pleasure. Jim, you have an open invitation to come back anytime.
Thanks, and I will see
Anytime you
you
want,
at the
pick up
next
phone and
conference,
call me.
or I'll definitely see you at CLIC.
Thank you. How can people get a hold of your development team?
Best way, just email me straight, jim.alderman, the name is there on the screen, at Radisson Hotels, plural, Americas.com. Apologies, they got the website, we got the new one, RadissonHotelsAmericas.com, and I'll get you in touch with the right person, or maybe we already know each other and we'll just do a deal and tell Phil about it later.
I love it. I love it. There you go. Hands on, my friend.
All right.
Thank you again
Thanks,
for
Craig.
joining us.
All right, we'll see you.
Thank you, our audience, for joining us. I also want to thank our production partner again, Chicago Title National Commercial Services Group, California. Hey, they work coast to coast. They may even do some stuff in Canada, so we're checking on that as well. Also, get to meet Jim at CLIC 5, our live in-person event on March 10th, 2022. So stop by our website, CLIconference.com, and register. If you are in the California hotel market or want to be in the California hotel market, this is the one event you should come to. It is personal development. It is networking. It is education. We've got the brands there. We've got lenders there. We've got management companies, third-party professionals, and so much more. One day. Look forward to seeing you there. And I want to thank Jim for making time out of his busy day to join us one more time. And I want to thank you, our audience, for being here. And remember, be kind, share your knowledge. Now go be amazing.